Hi, I'm Greg Clift, and this is my video for Language Arts 8th. Hopefully you'll get to know me a little bit in this video, and we'll learn about language arts for 8th graders. So here's a picture of my family. That's Tanya right next to me, then Ash, my daughter Megan, Abe, Kayla, my son-in-law Taylor, and my granddaughter Charlotte. This is my wife Tanya and my son Abe. Tanya and I have been married for 32 years. We both teach here at Trinity. Tanya is one of the 3rd grade teachers, and Abe works for Sherwin-Williams. This is my son Ash. He's a 9th grader now. This picture's from a couple years ago. He's still on the cross-country team. These are our boys we adopted from Ethiopia. They came home on New Year's Day of 2010. This is my daughter Megan with Abe a couple years ago. She teaches in Maui now at a Lutheran school. This is my grandbaby Charlotte, who's 3 years old and goes to Trinity. Charlotte, Megan, and Tanya. A great picture of the 3 of them. Let's go ahead and talk about language arts in the 8th grade at Trinity. I've got 5 parts to it. First part being grammar and mechanics. Good old-fashioned note-taking and discussions, and then applications that are real as best we can. We also learn parts of speech and then are able to label words with all 9 parts by their first final exam. But the main part is being able to apply it to their own writing, and lots of essays and writing samples here. The students leave and write some poetry this year. A little bit, not a ton. But the main point about writing is that someone's going to read it, so make it great. Do the best you can. Be a professional. And speaking of the reading-writing connection, we'll read lots of American stories, American authors from our text. Ambrose, Mark Twain, Isaac Asimov, Edgar Allan Poe, a bunch of different American authors. We'll also read a couple novels in class. My Brother Sam, The Silver Chair by C.S. Lewis. And we may even add an accelerated reader. We'll see how that goes. We might do that. And so a close relative of reading is listening. So I will read to the 8th graders. I like to read the novel The Magician's Nephew, also by C.S. Lewis. It's a great book. And then I read to them. Then right after a chapter, I will ask them questions. Just write down the answers on a piece of paper. Just make sure you're listening. It's an important skill these days. The 5th and final part of my 8th grade language arts class is speaking. Students will give impromptu speeches. They'll move on to formal, informative, persuasive, and how-to speeches. And some years we get to debates even at the end of the year in May. Depends on the group, depends on timing, but I love to do debates too. So to wrap things up, Trinity is a family. I've been teaching here about 30 years, and it's been great watching the school grow from about 100 students to 500 now, and to move from one property to the next. And I could go on and on and on about Trinity history. Love to talk to you about that anytime. If you have questions, call me, 541-410-7218. Don't ever hesitate to call me. If you're not sure if you should call me, that's when you should call me. You have my email as well. Not my favorite. I'd rather have you call me. But we'll have a great year, and God bless us all. Amen.